Welcome back, Lion Golf Academy members. Today we're going to be watching some videos on YouTube discussing training aids, top 10 training aids, top 20 training aids. We'll just break them down. The reason this came to mind, I was looking at my library over there and I picked up this book, The Golf Club, and it has a couple hundred pages on clubs that have been designed to help you hit the ball further, straighter, the usual jargon that they promise you. And it's remarkable. It's almost like the new club manufacturers pick up this book and say, let's just do this and market the hell out of that to make some money off of you guys. There hasn't been a book made about all these swing training aid tchotchkes out there, because I see hundreds of people on a weekly basis on the driving range where we instruct just using this nonsense, and it's typically stuff that's been done before, that's been rebranded and got the new golf celebrity back it up to help push sales, but most of these are just garbage. So come join me today. We're gonna watch some and I'll give you my personal opinion on what to do instead. Or is this a good one? You never know, you might find a diamond in the rough. And I've been working hard on this other video that's coming out probably tomorrow, talking about the grip placement and how that grip placement affects your shoulder tilt and turn. And don't forget to hit that notification to let you know when we upload another video. But other than that, let's go check out which swing training aid tchotchke might work for you. Okay, so I just typed in top 10 training aids for golf. We'll break it down. I found this first video here. It's from Golf Monthly. It is 20 minutes long, so I'm not going to bore you by watching the whole video. I'm going to watch it, but I'm going to edit it so you only see the top training aids.
But it has a super flexible shaft in it, and the idea behind this is multi-dimensional really. It's designed to help cue your slice, give you better rhythm, better timing, etc. You get that added benefit of creating a bit more lag in your swing as well, for a bit more power, because you're using your lower body, so the club is kind of falling behind a bit more. So really good for that, really good for power, timing, sequencing, and you can use it as a warm-up tool.
First thing that comes to mind is the torque of that shaft. Is that shaft, because it is so flexible, does it have a lot of torque? If it does have a lot of torque, that might encourage you to release more at the hands, because the club shaft will flutter a lot in the golf swing. Now I'm just curious, how much does this thing cost? Let's take a look. We're going to click on the link here. Now for 120 bucks, is it worth it? I don't think so. You're really going to use that just to warm up. You may as well just swing a club to warm up. The purpose of this is to slow down your swing, but not everybody needs to slow down their swing. The purpose of this might be to help you with your sequencing, but because that club is very whippy, your sequencing will be off because you are feeling the whip in your hands and your hands might get involved too much. I'm sure this might work for some people. Do what I recommend it for $120. No, not really. Go get a junior club that's a little longer junior club and use that instead. You can pick one up at the secondhand store for 20 to 30 bucks. It does look a little shorter. I'm not sure if that's a real length 7-iron or they're just trying to make it shorter to put in your bag or make it appease all different sizes. And this is nothing new. This has been done multiple times before. It just looks a little bit prettier. So I don't think I'd recommend it. You know my options. Let's see who's next. Next we have Blast Golf. So let's take a look at what Blast Golf is. So Blast Golf is 180 bucks. The bare minimum we're looking at 102. About 180 bucks, brand new. So let's see what Blast Golf is about.
So my first one, I'm going to come and talk about the Blast Golf Swing Analyzer here. And I think this can be paired quite nicely with what we were just talking about there. So this is a device, it's sort of a little a chip that almost goes to the top of your club through a little rubber attachment. You then connect it with an app via Bluetooth on any smart device you've got. And it gives you instant feedback on your tempo, where your hands are, the speed of your club with whatever you're hitting. Now it could be from driver all the way down to putter. And I think this is a really interesting device because it's that instant feedback, which I love, straight away on your phone. And it's something I don't think a lot of golfers know a lot about, myself included, before I started using this. About how fast do I swing it? What's the right window? It gives you a sort of traffic light system of red for too quick, amber, you're nearly there, green, that's about right.
So if you're going to use it strictly for rhythm, you can always download a metronome app on your phone and it's free. And you set your metronome rhythm, and obviously everybody has different rhythm. I'm not sure how that program would figure out what your ideal rhythm is or what your regular rhythm is. Maybe it gathers a bunch of information on your regular swings and provides you with what it thinks your tempo should be, and then you work on that tempo. Rhythms, timing, sequencing is all very individual. So I'm not sure what the purpose of that is without you knowing what rhythm you're trying to go for. If you're working with a coach and the coach recommends you to do something like this, I'm sure they'll recommend a metronome app for you because it's free, unless they are on some sort of kickback program with that and they try and push their sales. But in my opinion, that's not a good golf coach. A golf coach should not just push back sales to get commissions, they should be looking out for your best interest. If this is my student, I'd say go download Metronome app. Let's figure out what your tempo is and maybe if we need to slow it down. A Metronome app is great because it gives you the audio feedback so you can start to work on your rhythm and timing. Next up, we have the Srixon Q-Star Divide.
The Srixon Q-Star Tool Divide. Now, it's not technically a training aid, but I think a lot of golfers will use it as a training aid. Is it a very effective tool for giving you feedback on your, not just your putting? You might suspect that it's just your putting, but there's more to it than that. So this is the way it looks. So as you can see, it's a very bright design, 2 different colors with a divide line down the middle. And obviously the main benefit of this is use it for lining up your putts. And for me, it was a real eye-opener seeing where I thought I was aiming versus where I actually am aiming.
All right, so it's basically an alignment aid. This is not new. Ping did this quite some time ago, 30, 40 years ago. And if you do have those Ping golf balls, they're quite valuable now. So if you find one in the bushes, Mrs. Havenkamp hit there in 1985, you've got yourself a collector. This is just a rehash. Is it worth, I don't know how much a dozen there are, 50, 60 bucks a dozen. If you need golf balls and it helps you out, yeah, go ahead and get it. But is it the right ball for you? Who knows? But you can always just put a line in your golf ball. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be this way. Pink tried this and it didn't really catch on back then. I don't know why it would catch on now. But who knows? They might try and strike lightning where lightning never struck before. That's a horrible saying, but hopefully you get my drift. Next up, we have SuperSpeed training sticks. So these are $120. So let's take a look at what this is about.
I'm going to go for these. You might see them at the front of the shot. It is the SuperSpeed sticks. These are really cool. If you want more distance, club head speed is the sort of the go-to thing at the minute, isn't it? You know, distance hitting and all that. And these, they don't promise, but they claim to get you up to 30 more yards with your driver. Obviously, up to 30 more yards includes a yard, but these are really, really useful if you're looking to train that extra club head speed. Now, it's all about training your brain more than your body. It's sort of giving that muscle memory of what a quick swing feels like. So you get 3 sticks. I've got the light one in my hand here. So the light one is 20% lighter than a standard driver. The blue one, the medium one, is 10% lighter than a standard men's driver. And the red one then is 10% heavier, as hard as you can, on the opposite side of the way you swing.
All right, I think I've seen enough about this. This is not something that's new. Some of my coaches use this for themselves. Does everybody need it? Yeah, I think it's a good warm-up thing. So if you do have problems with your back and stretching out, you can definitely use these to warm up. This goes back to a long time ago. They used to be called a donut. It was a very heavy weighted donut. You would slide it down your shaft and then you would swing it and it would help you warm up. And people use that to get stronger. So this is not a new thing. It's just a reinvented package. It makes it look slicker and it's easier to use. And with the interchangeable weights, it's like adding another donut. There's been weighted clubs before. So this is just another version of that. I guess they're trying to tie in a gym-centric feel to this with the change in weights and getting faster with the motions. So it's a 50-50. I think this is a better one out of all these that we've looked at so far because it does more than just get your club head speed faster. If that's something that you want to do, this is actually a decent thing to use to warm up. Just be careful because the ones I have used in the past, they tend to snap. And I don't know if it's the quality of the ones I got. I probably got cheaper quality ones, but I've heard from other people that they do snap. So just be careful. Now, I don't know if they've hit the ground by accident when they did this or what, but when I used mine, I snapped it in the halfway, and it's not because I'm strong. It's because the thing is probably cheaply made, but not this one. The one I got was a knockoff, so that's my fault. So I would give this a 50-50. Just depends on what your goals are. Next up, Liveview Pro. Let's see how much this is. What is this? $264, $300. This had better be good.
The Liveview Pro 2. Now, it doesn't look like much, but this is a camera that live streams what it sees to another device, which is, it sounds kind of a bit basic, but when you're trying to work on something in your swing, it can be difficult to see what you want to see from the angle that you want to see it. You can attach it to your bag or the bag stand on the driving range, so position it wherever you want to, really, wherever you want to see your swing from, and then pair it with your phone via the inbuilt Wi-Fi, and you can put the phone right in front of your golf ball, so when you're looking...
All right, seen enough. I would not spend $300 on this. I'd rather just use mirror work. shadow work. $300 is a lot of money for what that is. I don't think this counts quite as a swing aid. It's more of a tech aid to help you get better, but I just don't think I would warrant spending $300 on this that a mirror can do, or shadow work, or recording and going back. But I can see the benefits of this. If you do have the money and you want to invest in your golf swing, this can be helpful because, like he says, when you stay in posture, things change and your feel isn't real, so what you might be doing might not be the case. So I can see the benefits of this. Just a lot of money for $300. So if you have the cash, I think it's a decent one. If you don't have the cash, you can have other options to do this. Next up, we have PuttOut Pressure Trainer. How much is this then? $30. So, okay, let's take a look at this one. $30.
This is the PuttOut Premium Pressure Trainer. Now, you can use this on your carpet or floor at home, or preferably with the PuttOut mat, because it's got a few lines and aids on it as well to help you with play and stroke. But it's a really cool parabolic device. So the ball, if you have this little bit, I'll come on to this in a minute, the ball will be chucked back at you how far it would have gone past the hole. Now the best bit is this part here, you see that pop down there. This is the sort of little game you can have with it. And if your ball nestles in this little crevice, there's probably a better term for that, and it stops there, that's the perfect putt.
All right, $30. I can see the benefits of this. I don't see it any different as putting the mug on the ground for those that just are too lazy to get the ball back to them. And I see what they're saying, that this ball comes back as far as you would miss it. But the problem is most of us will do this on the carpet. And is that really the green speed you want to practice at? So when you practice indoors, you want to be very careful of your speed that you're practicing on. Because if you're practicing on some furry 70s shaggy carpet, you're going to be coming back with a hammer hands. But if you're practicing this on smooth hardwood surface, you're going to be putting on like Augusta National greens. And when you go back to your Joe Public golf course, you're going to be leaving everything short. So make sure that you find at least suitable green speeds, and it's hard to do inside. It's better than nothing. Would I recommend this $30? Hey, if you got the cash, you want to get something, it's a fun little game to play, but you can always use a coffee mug. Just lay it on the ground, hit it in the coffee mug, same thing. Next up, we have the Lamkin Grip Trainer, and this is, what is it, $10? $10. All right, now this one, I'm not a fan of these, and they've been around forever, so I'm not sure why this is a top thing.
But essentially, this is a grip that is molded to the shape of a neutral grip. So I know what you're going to say, golfers don't often have the same grip. We see tour pros with quite strong grips, quite weak grips, etc. So while I'm not advocating that everyone needs to have a neutral grip or everyone needs to grip the club in the same manner, I think there are a couple of benefits to using something like this to promote a more neutral grip. For example, if you're starting the game and you're not really sure how to hold the club, I think it's worth using this to try and encourage a neutral grip from the start.
Yes.
All right, so like he said, grips are not all the same. I bet you if you gave that to a tour pro, if you lined up 100 tour pros and said, grip that, does that feel natural? You might get one that says, yeah, that feels natural. So just be careful of this. I'm not a huge fan of forcing people into grips just by the way their arms hang naturally. There was a study done on grip positions, and based on how you grip the club is how your arms hang when you stand up. You know, some people with their thumbs in, some people with thumbs out, and that affects the way you grip, and that affects the rotation. Now, obviously, grip does affect the tilt and the turn, and I'm actually making a video on that tomorrow to talk about grip placements and affecting your tilt and turn. Now, if you're getting everybody to start the game in this position, yeah, I can see the benefits. New player, you give them that thing to give them an idea of what the grip placement should be like in a neutral setting. But even then, I don't think I've used this once in 25 years of teaching, just because everyone's grip is so different and it's formed based on their rotation limitations and ability to tilt at impact. So if you need anything to do with them, put a rose in one and give it to your wife or your husband for their birthday. All right, MAMG breaking balls. What is this? Okay, Me and My Golf breaking balls putting mat. Here we go, putting mats. Of all things we need in life, we need another putting mat.
Me and My Golf breaking balls. Now, it doesn't just come with these 3 balls, you do get a mat as well. There's 2 options of 2 different lengths, and obviously you need the mat. 3 different weighted golf balls there, so green, red, and blue. And you can see the little weight in the side here, and it basically makes the ball break. So I think it's something like 90% of all putts you'll have on the golf course have some kind of break in them. So why not drill that at home as opposed to just hitting 6-foot straight putts all the time? Because how many of them are you actually going to get in real life?
Garbage. Don't even bother getting this. What's the point of practicing breaking putts? The whole point of practicing indoor is about speed control, rhythm, timing, direction, we need alignment. That's what you practice at home. You don't go home to practice breaking putts. Breaking putts practice on the green. How are you going to read a breaking putt when it's flat? The art form of reading a green is looking at the layout of the green, looking at the natural terrains, looking at the surroundings to figure out how this thing's going to break, and then you have speed that affects the break. This is just my opinion here. Don't waste your money, don't waste your time, skip right over this one. Let's go see who's next. Okay, DeWiz golf swing monitor. I hope it's not this one. I hope it's not the $600 one, but let's take a look. It's maybe $300. Okay, so I'm looking at between $150 to $300.
DeWiz golf swing monitor. Now this is a device that you wear on your lead wrist, so it's just like a normal wristband. And what it does, it connects with an app to track in real time kind of what your hands are doing in your swing.
Yeah.
So it's a fantastic device. It basically generates a 3D avatar of your swing on the app, which you can view from 3 different views. You can see exactly what your hands are doing in the backswing and in the downswing. So if you're really working on changing the motion of your arms or your hands, this will give you instant feedback on that.
I need to stop right there too. Nonsense. Don't bother with this either. Why would you care what your hands do? The hands are doing what they're doing because the body is putting them in that position. So if you are coming very steep, if you're just trying to focus on your hands getting flatter without addressing the reason they're steep, what's the point of this? You're just going to be adding more fuel to the fire. This might be good for an instructor who's working on their students' body positioning to show them how their hands can now change and then do it at the same time. But if you're just looking at this for pure hands, don't waste your time. $200-300, go get a lesson instead. All right, last one on this list is short game gains. What is this one about?
Sort of your all-in-one putting training aid, I guess. It's got absolutely everything. You can see, I'll get some stuff out here. You'll see me, this one's my favorite actually, the sort of line.
Elevated string line.
Yeah. And you'll see some images of me using it now.
A lot of tour pros use that.
Next time you order Chinese food, go ask for an extra pair of wooden chopsticks, break those chopsticks apart, put some string on, you get the same thing, and it costs you 50 cents for the string.
Head's going, if it's going inside or too far outside. So that's my favorite out of them. But you've got the hole reducer, you've got gates, you've got the lines, the marker pen you can draw.
Gates, put a couple of T's in the ground, it's free. Hole reducers, yeah, I mean, who cares about the hole reducer? Yeah, you want to get the ball more in the center, but the ball goes in the hole, The hole doesn't shrink all of a sudden when you're out there. So maybe for the better player, maybe for the tour player, they need the hole reducer, but you don't need that.
On the green, which wipes off, obviously. It's just got everything, a little tripod to hold your phone. And if you're looking just to have something, raise a hand.
So wait a minute. On the putting green where he's practicing, he's got a hole that's open, but yet he puts down a fake hole to hit that. I just don't get it. So I've seen enough of this already with this one. It just looks like a bunch of plastic stuff put together that's charging you a couple $100 for this kit that you can go get the stuff for almost nothing. But in a nutshell, I mean, that's just 10 of these, and most of these are starting to gear towards the tech side. Be very careful of this tech side stuff because that's where you can start going down the rabbit hole, start changing stuff that shouldn't be changed. If you just work on your hand positions without realizing what you're doing with your body, that's going to be a recipe for disaster. A lot of these are just recycled stuff. I cannot tell you how much I've saved students money by giving them a tee and showing them how to use that tee correctly for multiple swing aids. There's just way too many things for sale out there that just do not help you. And I'm wondering if Golf Monthly, who did this video, was sponsored by all those companies to say, hey, say something cool about my company to get some sort of kickback. I'm just asking you to be careful. It's much like a mechanic. You get your honest mechanics and you get the mechanics that are not honest, but I hope that helps you do your homework when you do these. If you need my advice on any of the things you want to go purchase, send me an email. Link is down below. And don't forget, Sundays right here, 6:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we go live for your swing diagnosis. See you tomorrow. Fairways and greens.